Welcome to HBO Lax. This is Lizzy Pace.
And this is Katherine Dudas.
Well, Katherine, we're the two foremost TV, film, and pop culture experts in the universe, and this is our book club. Today's book is The Last of Us, Season 1.
Yes.
And we are recapping Episode 5. Katherine, I am not sure I can endure and survive this show.
I get a text from Lizzy like at like 7:45 or whatever, just JFC, which I think, as the kids say, Jesus fucking Christ. And I was like, I know. It was bad.
I did not think I would be crying again watching this show so soon after my last
your
tears.
boyfriend was just telling us about how the creators said on Twitter, they were like, after episode 3, they were like, guys, that was the happy episode. And now I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God. It was a lot. And okay, wait, I want to say up top, before I forget, because I will forget, if anyone, whoever watched the after thing, the after interview with the actors, the boy who played Sam is actually a deaf boy. And the cast and crew learned ASL on set. Good. He was so good. He was so good. I want to cry. They learned on set so they could tell him like how good a job he was doing, and like Bella was learning it really well, and I cried again.
So like the acting in the show is what they were really doing behind the scenes. Like,
oh my God, I cried. I was like, I can't
over that stuff together.
Oh my God. It was, yeah, we'll get into it, but wow, what a fucking gut punch. That really well done. Absolute murder of me. Really well done, show. You did it. You killed me.
The title of this one is Endure and Survive, and directed by Jeremy Webb, and Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann wrote this one. Whew. Should we just dive in?
Let's just get into it. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm sad.
We start... We're both sad. We start this portion with flares, and people are chanting freedom, and we see those We the People trucks that we saw earlier of the Kansas City resistance, and people are cheering fuck you Fedra. And we cut to the cost of that cheers. People clearing off dead bodies, people beating prisoners and killing them, hanging this Fedra I guess they're hanging all the Fedra people. And they say, we have control of the QZ now. Collaborators surrender now.
Really scary. I was confused at first. I was like, what time we were in? And we find out that were like 10 days earlier from where we left off, but I was wondering, and so I was actually really surprised.
I rewound
because they say later on
that. I rewound looking for that. I thought maybe there'd be like I had missed a title card or something.
Yes, same. No, exactly same. Yeah, I really thought, and I was really surprised later on when they say 20 years later. I'm like, wow, it took them 20 years to get rid of. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, so we have we meet Henry. Talking to Sam, and he is signing an ASL that we're almost there. Look at me, don't look at that. Very similar callback to something that Joel said to his daughter in the first episode, which that killed me. And he goes, 2 more blocks, stay with me. And just, we are introduced to the cutest little boy I've ever seen. Instantly attached. Cool.
Instantly.
Could not be more attached.
We cut to this holding cell, and we see Melanie, aka Kathleen, grabbing this chair, bringing it in a cell, and she says to Perry, the silver beard, I used to be so scared of these people. Now look at them. And then she's just yelling at him, did it feel good betraying your neighbors to Fedra? Watching us hang so you could get medicine and alcohol and apples? Did it make you feel safe? I'm not Fedra. No one here has to die. I could put you on trial, but you're guilty. So first you have to do something for me. Where's Henry? If your informers inform. It's a one-woman show. She is the only one talking. I guess I don't know. Killed it.
Now,
and then
this is so I'm I have so many thoughts about this character. I would just like to say that it's so interesting morally ambiguous to be introduced to a character at this stage in revolt. Because if I feel like if we had seen this character 3 days prior, when we would have, I feel like a lot of really different feelings for her, because this apparently later we find out that she basically like helped the revolution. Like she made this happen against these monsters, Nazis, fascists.
Yeah.
So, but I'm so scared of her.
Brother's cause.
Yes, I don't like her at all this whole episode. Like I actively dislike this character so much, even when they try to make her sympathetic to me. But I think this would be very different if I had seen this character a couple days prior. I don't know. I could, because all I
feel like I'm biased in the opposite way. I just love her. I love like everything that she does acting wise. So I'm just like,
yes, her acting's great.
I love to see her on screen.
I know. I mean,
she's so good.
Love this actress. She did an amazing job. But the character, I was like, wow, this is so interesting. But she does a great job being really scary. With when Silverbeard, what's his name, Jerry?
Perry.
Oh, Perry. Perry's like, okay, do we have to like look for him now and like give all these resources? And she's like, oh, would you want it? She's very like girl boss. She's like, would you rather wait a week? Like this, he's not my 7th priority. You know, he's my first. And then he asks, are we really putting them on trial? And she says, no, when you're done, burn the bodies, it's faster. And that's when we really learn who Kathleen is. We're like, woo, Kathleen.
Yeah. But one honestly, person
fair,
in there had been like, oh, Henry's meeting up with Edelstein. And then that's all the information she got. And I don't think oh, wait, is Edelstein the doctor?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And then he's the one who helps them into the attic.
We see people scream. We cut to another abandoned building, Sam and Henry. And we cut to this room where the doctor is, and they sneak up into the attic. And
this is the same attic we saw last episode. Where all his paintings were, or where they found the hideout. And he basically he says, oh, are we safe here? He's like, oh, I got this from a federal officer, owed me a favor. He said he found it himself and never told anyone about it. So he is telling him he's safe. Henry is telling him about his plan to go to the tunnels. And the doctor's like, you might as well kill yourself now, buddy. And then they count food, and they have about 11 days worth of food and then they need a real plan.
Also, Henry says that Sam has seen a lot, so he's scared. And the doctor says he's scared because you're scared. And we see Sam show him this superhero drawing. And then Henry calls him Super Sam.
Oh, my God. Speaking of nostalgia, do you remember this thing? Like this thing to write on from the aughts? Where you like write and then I can feel what it feels like to peel that paper. Yeah, it's like an extra sketch, but you like peel the paper. I can like... When he did it, every time he did it, I was like, I could feel what that feels like. I loved this. Yeah, he asks Henry. Sam asks, "What did he say?" And this was also just the moment where I was like, I want to learn ASL. This is so cool. ASL is so cool. Like it's just such a beautiful. It's really beautiful to watch. Yeah, he was like, "Are you sure? 100%. Hey, do you see my face? Do I look scared?" And he's like, "No." And it's really, really sweet. And then he gives him, he's
Henry
like,
says, there's one problem. This place is ugly.
Yeah,
and gives him this bag of crayons. And you realize that's why he's drawing all the walls. He's coping with trauma.
He's coping with trauma. It's really, oh my God. It's so beautiful. And it's such a sweet, I also thought this was his dad at first.
Yeah, I thought it was his dad for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Until they said.
There
is a chyron that says 10 days later. We see Sam is painted all over this attic area. And Henry's looking out these boarded windows at the soldiers that he's tracking. And Sam's like, is the doctor coming back? And Henry's like, yeah. But later he says he's not coming back. We have to go. I've been watching the soldiers. We can make it on foot. Sam asks, did they kill him? And Henry says, probably yes.
And then he gives him a hug because he's like, I need a hug. It's really, wow, yeah, this whole episode is just going to be us being like,
I know, I talk in that voice. I'm like, oh,
no, I do
beautiful
too.
Father, son
but also,
moment.
like, Sam draws the superhero so many times, and I'm like, I also can only draw one thing, Sam. I also would just...
Catherine's like, my relatable moment is this child.
That is my relatable moment. Also, I'm so excited to tell you my horniest moment, by the way, because I'm excited. I'm just excited to get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, Henry paints the superhero mask on Sam's eyes, and they're ready to leave, and they hear shooting. We realize it's a different perspective on the Joel and Ellie shoot down. And Henry sees that Joel is a badass.
Yeah. That's exactly. Henry was like, "Hey, that is a badass." And that the fact that Joel looks at him is so interesting. I don't think I noticed that last episode that Joel looks at someone.
I'm like, I guess it's probably a subtle thing in the scene. I bet if we go back,
we'll
see him see something and then do a little eye look or something.
It feels like watching the third Harry Potter movie. You remember, like, that's what it feels like. Remember that?
What?
The different.
What's in the third Harry?
Remember, they go back in time, and then the time turner, and then they are seeing themselves in a different perspective, and they're... Anyway, join me on my other podcast.
Of course.
Harry Potter things that
easy
don't matter.
rep. Henry tells Sam that there's a new plan, and they follow Joel and Ellie, and the broken glass on the ground. Guess what? It doesn't work that well. Henry steps in it, and he tells Sam that it's noisy and gives him a gun. Oh, he's too small to have a gun.
He's so small to have a gun. That was really... I mean, I guess I knew he would have a gun because of the last episode, but I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I guess it's time, kid. Grow the fuck up. Get a gun. You're in an apocalypse. You were born into an apocalypse. Yeah. So then we see the scene where we left off. This is
gonna be the best day of your life.
Yeah. We see where we left off last episode. And Henry has his gun pointing at Ellie. Sam has his gun pointing at Joel. And he's like, eyes on me. I don't want to hurt you. And then Henry's like, I don't know what to do now. He's like, so now that I've said that, I've never done this before. Can you let me know what's next? This was so funny. And then he goes, wait, my favorite moment of the whole fucking show. He was like, if I lower my gun, we didn't hurt you. Like, so you don't hurt us. Like, right? And Joel's like, yeah, that's right. And then in a weird tone, and then immediately Henry's like, that's a weird fucking tone. And Ellie's like, that's just how he sounds. That
scene was so funny. He just sounds like an asshole.
Oh my God, because I thought the same thing. I was like, Joel, you sound like you're lying. And then immediately Henry calls it out. He's like, you're lying, man. And
no, he's like Batman. He's got a Batman voice.
Yeah, he's got like, it's just like the most obvious, I'm totally lying, like, I'm gonna kill you voice. And Henry was like, but called it out. And I love that. That's just such good writing. So funny, such good acting. And
they basically come to this truce, and Henry reveals he's the older brother and that he's the most wanted man in Kansas City, but I guess Joel is a close second. And they're sharing food, and they're like, where'd you get this? Ellie says, from Bill, he's dead.
Yeah.
Lol.
All right. Too soon. Jesus.
And
you didn't know him like we knew him, Ellie.
Give me one good day. We learned that Henry is 8, and Henry spells Ellie's name for Sam. And Ellie hits Joel's leg to make him introduce himself. That was very, very funny.
That was funny.
And Henry says, I'll show you the way out of the city. And he gives a little backstory. No Fedra as of 10 days ago. They were monsters. They raped and tortured and murdered people for 20 years, but I'm a collaborator.
Joel does not like this. He says, I don't work with fucking rats. And he's like, yeah, you do, because you're going to have to help me out because I can help you out. And Joel's like, why do you want to help us? And Henry's like, because I saw how hot you were killing all those people. That's not what he says. And how armed and strong you were. And Joel's like, oh, you're not. You seem like capable. And Henry's like, nope. Pointing an unloaded gun at you is the closest I've come to being violent. And that's the deal. And I show you the way, and you clear the way. I love that. Little cute little. He could be in marketing. Sad that it's an apocalypse. He would be a great marketer. And they look over, and Ellie and Sam are laughing and being cute. And Henry's like, I haven't heard him laugh.
They're looking at the pun book. The pun book is really healing a nation.
It is. Oh, that's beautiful.
Henry says he hasn't heard Sam's laughter in a long time.
God. This is so upsetting. This whole thing just sucks. Henry starts drawing a map. He points out where the resistance is. That's where Kathleen is. You can, talking about all the people on the perimeter. If we get close, we get caught. So how do we get across? He does this whole thing. It's the tunnels. And he's like, great. And he's like, they'll never go down the tunnels. And Joel's like, what's the catch? And he's like, well, it was, they drove the infected underground like 15 years ago. And Joel's like, okay, why would, no, we're not, no. But apparently there's a rumor that Henry was like, no, I heard that from a federal person that it's actually, there's nothing down there. Yeah, and Joel is rightfully skeptical of this. Henry tells him, you're the right people. If it gets bad down there, we can turn around and come right back out the same way. That was my most video game moment of the week. When Henry, again, I have not played video games a lot, but when Henry was like, you guys are the guys I need. I feel like that's a video game thing, right? When they're like, oh, perfect. You, person playing this game.
I really like exactly your interpretation of what video games must be like.
I know this is coming with no actual firsthand experience, but I'm guessing from babysitting and stuff. So anyway, that was my most video game. He's like, you guys, you're the only ones that can help. Come on.
Oh, apparently they are in the game too.
Oh, it felt like they were in the game. And there was another video game moment that it wasn't my video game of the week, but we'll talk about later.
But they're all worried about running into monsters, and Henry kind of convinces Joel by saying they're going to help us escape to Sam. And he says,
Smart.
to Joel.
Smart.
And I'm like, oh, when did Henry figure out that Joel was a father? Oh, maybe it's in this moment when this is the convincing thing. I wonder.
Lizzy, that's so smart. That's right. I think that's a good guess. Yeah.
We see the foursome go into these stairwells with their little
flashlights.
And
Lizzy just looked at me wide-eyed like, oh my God, I forgot the word for a flashlight.
Henry's like, look, my plan's good. And Joel's like, we're only in here 2 seconds. And
Love
Henry's like, your dad is kind of a pessimist. And they say, not my dad, not her dad at the same time.
That was very notable. That was a good note. That is my notable moment of the week.
Oh, notable for what reason?
It's very notable that they both said that at the same time. It shows where they're at.
Because they both have walls.
Yeah, exactly. Walls. They're playing the wall game. They're both playing strong wall games. Yeah, honestly, that is it.
They find this room, and it looks like it's a preschool, but apparently it's people who went underground and built settlements. And Joel's like coming up with a theory for why it didn't work out. He's like, maybe they didn't follow rules and got infected. And Sam finds this Starlight comic book, and Ellie and him bond over. They both have different issues of this comic book. They're both nerds.
Nerds.
Not relatable.
How much joy did it bring you to see this room? I got so much joy. I was like, oh, they gotta take all the toys. I was like, they get to play. It made me so happy. And then Henry eventually convinces him to hang out there because he could see how happy Sam was.
A room they can play in that's not filled with death.
Yeah, it was really, really sweet.
Ellie reads from the book to him, to the edge of the universe and back, endure and survive, and they high five. And Henry suggests they wait out in this room, and Joel doesn't even say anything. An answer in itself. Ellie and Sam play soccer. Henry is I wrote here, Henry laughs, but Joel is gruff. It's because Joel knows what's out there.
It's true.
And Joel says, if you were collaborating to take care of Sam, I shouldn't have said what I said. I don't know your situation. It seems kind of cruel to send the army after you for that. And Henry basically reveals that he turned in Kathleen's brother, who was the resistance leader to Fedra.
Because Sam had leukemia, which is like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's an
talk
important
about a fucking a bad hat on a hat. That sucks. Apocalypse and leukemia. Oy vey. Yeah. But apparently, they had a drug, and he sold out the Okay, so apparently this resistance leader, by the way, is like this Jesus, like he was describing like a Jesus like cult figure vibe, and that was really interesting.
I thought we were gonna meet him at some point in the flashbacks.
Yeah. Okay. That would have been cool, because I'm like, what? I love that there's this whole story we're just getting like little snippets of. I don't think we'll get more information.
I don't think so
than
either.
What we got in this episode. Which
no one seems to be making it out of Kansas City.
No, I know. Oh my God, Lizzy. Oh,
Kansas
that was
City
horrible.
looks like it is.
That was the scariest moment ever. Okay.
God. Oh my. Henry says, I am the bad guy because I did a bad guy thing. You get it, though. You might not be her father, but you were someone's. I can tell. And Joel then gets triggered. He says, we've waited long enough. We have to leave. End of conversation. And it gets him emotionally. And this was my horniest moment of the week.
Did you look off to see if Jake was there?
He's hurt, but I can fix him.
Lizzy looks to the side. She's like, he probably looks to the side. Horny. See, boyfriend's listening. That's very cute.
Thank you for narrating. Oh, man.
I love it.
We see Kathleen in this rotting kid's room. And Perry is like, what are you doing here? She's like, how do you know I was here? He's like, I talked to your mom. She's like, why are you talking to my mom? I'm like, wow, they gave them so much backstory. Perry says, well, we didn't know where you were. And Kathleen's like, have you been to the room you grew up in? He says, it's 200 miles away. Not worth it. And Kathleen says, when my brother Michael and I were little, this room was so big, and he would protect me from storms in this perfect box. He was beautiful, and I never was. He would be horrified by the things I've done. And if you come to tell me not to hurt Henry and that he'd want me to forgive, I already know that. But what does that get you? He wanted me to do that, and he was killed in jail. And Perry says, your brother's a great man. We loved him, but he didn't change anything. You did. You're the real resistance leader. We're with you.
Very interesting. So, sorry. Just one thing. I love the writing on the show. I love the writing so far. I will say this is the first scene that did not work for me from an actual technical writing and then execution standpoint. I don't... and maybe I feel like it was meant for me to feel sympathetic. I don't know.
Humanize her a little.
I don't think, and it didn't. And I don't know how they could have made it too. I don't think this is the actress's fault. I think it was a little too long. I think the story was a little too generic, and I don't know. This was like the only time I've ever I was like, this is not really hitting it. And it's the midpoint of the episode, so it's kind of this emotional, like the midpoint, yeah, it's supposed to, well, I guess in film it's different, but in like a screenplay, the midpoint is like either the character gets what they want, or the main character gets what they want, or the main character is get even further from their goal. And so I don't know, it was just an interesting choice, but yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
I've only worked on half hours.
I was like, I guess maybe it's different for
I'm like, the midpoint of
truly, I've literally just because
40-minute drama.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I love your honesty, your brutal honesty, Katherine.
Gotta be honest. I gotta be honest.
I get mystified by that. An episode has made me cry, and it's beautiful and smart, and you can tell how it could have been better, and that's good too.
Well, you know what? It's only when I notice. It's only when I'm noticing it in my body, like in my brain. I'm like, why am I not? I'm like, this isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, and I wonder why. And then I get curious.
Capricorn's intuition.
Yes, exactly. Or it's more just like, I feel like it's hard sometimes to watch. I feel like you can relate because okay, tangent, but like, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you think you watch so much reality also because you love it, but because you work in half hour, watching like quote unquote real TV is sometimes exhausting because you're thinking about the writing too much, and then reality, it's kind of like this break.
Yes. Oh, okay, yes. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I feel like the
writers
on most of the shows I've worked on don't watch a lot of narrative TV.
Right.
For whatever reason.
It's hard because your brain is always like I have to force myself to watch movies just because my brain will go in a million different directions.
It definitely ruins some, like, especially like network comedies where there's like a very clear A, B, C story, and I'm like, well, they're not gonna end up together. There's another beat in the story or whatever like that. Like,
you're predicting it too. Yeah, exactly.
That's anyway, Hollywood, baby. That's why they call me Mrs. Hollywood.
Yeah. But that's why I love YouTube videos about history. It's my thing.
I hate that. Whenever you say that fact about yourself, I'm always so I awe at the diversity of human beings.
Lizzy's like, you can be this hot and like history, and I'm like, Lizzy, I know I can't explain it. God just gave me too many things, and it's so complex.
Honestly, I think if you just walked into like a classroom at a university, I'd take that class. Be a professor.
Fuck yeah. Oh my God. I would love to teach a class on like a bullshit class on a TV show, which is what a lot of the classes I took in college. I'm like,
I don't know anything about studying television.
Yeah, it was fun. You don't need to. No one has to go to school for film and TV. That's also my big opinion. Just watch YouTube and watch movies. Don't go to school for it. Anyway, keep going. That's my other advice.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Ellie tells them their plan, that they're going to Wyoming and can fit more people. And Henry's like, I don't know. Don't poke the bear, a.k.a. Joel. And Ellie's like, no, this is how it goes. So say it's not happening. And then I ask a million more times, and then gunfire. No.
And you knew it was going to happen because the moment was too cute. And you're like, God damn it. I know this is something's about to happen. They are getting shot at, and Henry and Sam, Henry tries to moon Sam, realizes that's not going to work. Joel is like, okay, I'm going to go get him from behind. And Ellie, it's really sweet. Ellie's like, what if he kills you? And she's like, you can really see her like little kidness come out, and she's just like scared that something's gonna happen to him. And it's really, and we find out later about the alone thing. This makes sense. And he's like, do you trust me? And she says yes. And then he was like, he has shit aim, it's fine. Also, I love that Joel just can tell when people have shit aim, and like he's God, I hope he's with me when I'm in the apocalypse. He is a great guy to have. He knows. I would not know if someone
Catherine's
had a bad
just
aim.
Putting it out there.
Looking for a man who can get me through the apocalypse, please.
Pedro, we know you're
Oh my
listening.
God, Pedro, I'm obsessed with you now. I didn't know you existed until like we started this. This is a series, but now I'm watching Narcos. I'm in love with you.
I'm so sorry.
Every moment, my sexiest moment is coming up, or my horniest moment. No, I've changed it to the sexiest moment. This is how he's got it in my head, Lizzy. Okay, anyway,
Joel runs around to the. We're getting.
Sorry, so many tangents.
We're silly.
We're silly.
Joel's gonna go run around this haunted house and find this shooting man, and then he kills that guy. The radio says, "Anthony, hold them. Where are you? We're almost there." Uh-oh, Kathleen is here with all her big military cars. Joel is shooting at Kathleen. Ellie shoots behind her and Henry and Sam. Oh my God, the big snowplow comes at them, clearing these cars, which was honestly
idea, but
maybe
Jesus.
my scariest moment.
That was really scary. It was not my scariest moment.
Creative and scary.
It was,
well,
yeah.
Kind of Mad Maxy.
Yeah, totally. Oh.
That crashes into a building. The resistance. Show up. Ellie runs. This car explodes.
Yeah, Joel gets.
I can't even keep track of what's happening.
The truck.
Scene.
He like shoots the truck person, and this is when everything really goes wrong because that's when the truck goes into that house, and we all know what's gonna happen later with that.
No.
At least I think that's the thing. That's the one. Yeah. All the resistance people get out. They are ready. It is a whole army. Henry goes over to Ellie and helps her.
Henry grabs and saves Ellie, and then someone yells 2 and 2 around the back, take him out, to their army people about Joel. And this was my most video game moment of the week. In Star Wars Battlefront, they would have these little phrases that the army soldiers would say to each other, like, suit up, like, cover me, or, like, stuff like that. And I feel like this was like that. 2 and 2 around the back.
That totally makes sense.
Very like, I mean, I'm sure it's a real army saying also, but anyway, Kathleen calls out Henry to go. He says, okay, but just let the kids go. She says, no, I'm like, gonna murder these kids.
And she's just like, no. I'm like, such a bitch. I was like, Kathleen, you're being a bitch. And she was like, the girl's with the man who killed Brian. And Sam's with you. And he's like, you don't understand. And Kathleen's like, I do. I know why you did what you did. But did you ever stop to think that maybe he was supposed to die? Interesting look into Kathleen's psyche. And he's like, he's just a kid. And she's like, well, kids die, Henry. They die all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, your brother was a human.
Yeah, she's not saying that about her brother.
She's like, you think the whole world revolves around him? He's like, so apparently her brother was this like godlike cult Jesus dude who like forgives people, and everyone thinks he's like the next coming, and I guess because he died, everyone's like he was gonna save us, whatever. Crazy. I was like, she's being so hypocritical.
Yeah, she's into her brother too much.
Yeah, this is a little weird.
She's just like, I mean, she literally gets everyone killed.
Yeah. We also, I will say, when she says this fate, what she says about fate, like this is what happens when you cheat fate. Like this is what. It's coming up actually. Sorry. And then she says that, and then what happens later happens. All the zombies coming out. Like that was great. I think that was my favorite writing moment when she's like talking about fate when it comes to like you. She's like pointing at him and being like, this, you fucked with fate. And it's actually her that fucked with fate. Because if she didn't chase him out there, if she wasn't so insistent on her revenge, like, and this petty thing, like, then they would still be alive and not be, yeah. Anyway. So I love this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this moment's right after. She says the fate thing and it happens right after, right?
Yeah, she says this is what happens when you fuck with fate, and Henry says to Ellie, get ready to take him and run. Henry comes out with his hands up. Ellie holds Sam down as Henry's turning himself in. I'm doing the voice. I can't.
No, it's so sad. It's so sad.
Kathleen says it ends the way it ends. And loads this gun, and then there's an implosion behind her as the snowplow falls into the sinkhole in the house, and monsters are coming. And this 1,000 infected come out, and this was my scariest moment of the week.
Oh my God. This moment was my heart dropped. I gasped. I was like, I said no. I was like, this was my scariest moment of the week. My God. This was so well done because holy shit, I was scared. I was like, well, they're fucked. They're fucked. Everyone's fucked.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then we start this really amazingly well produced, directed segment of this monster battle. And also Joel. Okay, my video game moment of the week was gonna be Joel shooting down to protect Ellie, because I feel like in the game that was probably like they probably were like, do this and save Ellie. Like you have to. That was like probably a thing. And
yeah,
again, I don't
cover
know
her.
Like it was a task.
But you have to try to shoot things from really far away. Yeah, that definitely seems right.
Yeah, so like he is killing it. He's like protecting Ellie from above while she's trying to escape.
Yeah, that was really cool seeing their like teamwork during that part.
Oh my God. And I felt like, I was like, good, like Joel is I don't know, I felt like safe every time I saw Joel on screen. I'm like, I'm safe. And it's just crazy. It's like this sequence isn't, people are these things are so fast. These monsters. That's what makes them so fucking scary. Like one grabs Ellie. She's able to get away. She looks and sees a car window, and then Joel looks and he's also like sees like kind of where she's going, and so he anticipates that and he like shoots the thing. She gets into the car, and then this child cordyceps comes in and does these the creepiest moves I've ever seen. And apparently, I think that was just an actor. Like, I think that was an actual girl, like with the makeup on and stuff. I don't think that was CGI. Like, and yeah, it's so creepy. We see the fucking biggest, Ellie escapes. Ellie's able to get out. Wait, no, sorry. I'm going backwards. We see a bloater. Is that what it's called?
Bloater. These are the big boys. Yes.
This was
big boy
scary.
bloaters coming out to fight.
I didn't know this was the thing. He picks up human. Level. He just picks it up with one arm. He's like Shrek.
Oh. Perry machine guns it, tells Kathleen to run. It's not doing anything. It decapitates Perry.
We see it in the background. It's horrible. It's horrible. And the fact that we know, like, this, I guess this is...
How are Joel and Ellie going to take on a bloater?
I don't know. I was also thinking that. I don't know what... Oh, this is when the car thing happens. So the little girl, cordyceps, comes in, and it's so fucking creepy. And Ellie's able to get away. I'm like, Ellie, you have a gun. Your gun. Use your gun. She's able to get out of the car. She sees Henry and Sam being attacked by the cordyceps, by the infected. And she goes over to try to help them. She stabs 2 of the infected because she's amazing and badass. And she yells, run, run, go, go, go. Joel comes back out. He joins them. They're running off and they're about to get away, except fucking Kathleen needs to have her last moment, her revenge. Mm-hmm. But of course, that's not going to work, Kathleen. Now you're going to get now you're going to get infected. And the little girl, creepy. Oh, it was horrible the way she was like ripping her up. She was like, and then like, this is a podcast, so you can't see me. But
yeah, you hope you get one of the ones killing you that just makes out with you.
Yeah.
Not the decapitators. Tess got, kind of a sexy goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to make it horny. Oh, wait, sorry. My horniest moment of the week, when Joel was shooting from the window and just like intensely at the infected, I was like, this is sexy. I was like, this is horrible.
Is it the saving Ellie or is it the violence?
No, his face, honestly, I don't know. Something in me just went, It was just like the only moment of the whole, there was the moment of the episode where I went by House of the Dragon rules, where I was like, it's whatever moment works for me. And for whatever reason, I
House
don't
of
know,
the
Sam.
Dragon rules. I love that.
That's my
House of the Dragon rules means it doesn't need to be explained, and I will speed agree with you guys. Doesn't
Thank
need
you.
to.
It doesn't need to.
Love it.
Anyway, that was my happiness moment. He
We
was
see
really
this
sexy.
absolute mayhem as they run away. Demons rising up from this hell mouth after Kathleen is destroyed. And we see at the motel later, Joel sits on the ground. He's tired. Henry's eating. Ellie and Sam are discussing comics. And this was I can't
This
believe
is
they did
horrible.
this
Yeah.
to us.
Well, here's the thing. So they're talking about like being their caretakers, and he's like, what does that book say? Endure and survive. And then Henry's like, that's redundant. And Joel's like, yeah, it's not good. And then Joel offers them to come with him. And he's like, oh, it would be good for Sam to have a friend. And at that moment I was like, fuck, something's happening. Because it's like, also it feels like that thing, especially in like TV, where you're like, the structure is going to stay the same. It's kind of like a sitcom where at the end they're going to end up in the same place.
I feel like I know the cover of this show
exactly
is
two people.
them too.
Yeah.
So anyone outside of that, I'm like,
it was so fucking sad.
Worried for him.
And then Henry's like, go to bed.
And also like a video game, like you don't really travel with like a herd of people. So if anyone's going to get away, it's because you kind of like lose touch with them.
That's a really good point.
They go a different direction.
Yeah.
Henry tells Sam he needs sleep, and Sam curls up on the bed. Ellie wakes Sam up with the book. It's very Station 11.
It is. Yes, that's true.
Like the children reading the comic book that's like kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
And Sam writes, "Are you scared?" And Ellie says, "Do I not look scared?" Sam writes, "Never." Ellie says, "I'm scared all the time of scorpions." "No, I'm scared of ending up alone." "What about you?" And Sam says, "If you turn into a monster, is it still inside you?"
Oh.
And shows Ellie he got bit on his leg.
Kill me.
She then shows her bite mark, says, "My blood is medicine."
She took your advice, Lizzy. Remember, you said that in an episode.
This was my advice. Okay, here's how she did not follow my advice. She cuts her hand and pours the blood into his wound, but she's touching her open wound on him.
No.
And I'm like, Ellie, I know you're safe from this whatever,
I know, but you're really
do
testing
we need
it.
to force it? You can drip the blood in there.
I felt the same
You
way,
don't need
Lizzy.
to
I
touch
was
it.
like, stop touching it. This is. I felt the same. I was like, this is so risky. Oh my God, horrible. Yeah, I hated that. I was yelling at the TV.
Well, it turns out the solution doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or maybe needs more blood. I don't know.
I was really upset in this moment that she didn't go tell Joel immediately. I was like, so when she when she woke up in the chair,
She doesn't even tie Sam up or anything.
I was like, Ellie, lots of confidence in this thing you told yourself. Lots of unearned confidence in that. She wakes up and the camera's like on her as she wakes up, and I'm just like, what is happening? What's happening? They really build suspense here because I feel like we're all like, and then she looks at him and his back is to her, and you just kind of know. And she goes over to him, and the infection has progressed, and he attacks her, and he's attacking her, and Henry pulls out his gun and points it at Joel to stop Joel from...
As Joel's trying to shoot Sam.
Yeah. And then
Henry
shoots
Sam.
And then he freaks out and he's like, what did I do? What did I do? And then he shoots himself. And then, Joel is trying to get the gun from him. He's like, give me the gun. And because he knows, I think, what he's about to do. And then he does. And then he shoots himself, and it's fucking devastating. It's really, this scene was, was well done. This was a really well done scene. This was really fucking sad.
It's horrible.
It was really horrible. They were really, oh my God. It was, the trauma these two are experiencing is going to be hard to get over. But I think it's important. Yeah, it's definitely important to note that this is.
I literally had to put on Abbott Elementary clips, Best of Ava on YouTube to do a palate cleanser after I watched it. I was like, I cannot do the comedy podcast right now.
I know. I felt the same. I know. I'm like, pardon if the beginning of this episode was a little like lower energy because I didn't realize until halfway through. I'm like, okay, I feel like more higher energy. I was like, that really took a lot out of me. Yeah, it was really,
it's
really
horrible.
It was horrible. It was really, really sad. And yeah, just
really the worst thing you can.
Yeah, just the worst thing truly ever. I know now, or it was I mean, the creator in the after this episode. Well, actually, I'll talk to it. I'll get through it, and then I'll talk about that because it was really interesting what the creator was saying. But yeah,
Allie and Joel
did
graves for them, and then Allie writes "I'm sorry" on the pad and puts it on Sam's grave.
Yeah, this is gonna affect her.
And then she says "Let's go," which was very Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she's
all right, moving on. Gotta shove these emotions down.
Yeah. And it's sad because the actress even says in the after episode, she was like, I feel like Sam brings out a childlike quality with Ellie, and seeing and then when so it's even more devastating when it's just like she got to be a child again for like a day.
Such a good point.
Yeah,
she was a child for a day.
Yeah, and it was really really different. And I think it hurts Joel a lot because we've seen from Joel, especially last episode, Joel is very concerned that that Ellie has to see all this and do all this, and he doesn't. It really hurts him and breaks him because he's probably thinking about his own daughter, but also I think like he really is caring for Ellie. I think like this episode really did see how much he does care for her. He's dad.
He's the dad.
He's dad, and they walk west. And the next...
I did not watch the promo. I don't really want to know.
Okay, yeah, I won't tell you. It's interesting.
If you want to say, I can hang up.
No. I'll let you guys... Okay. You guys can watch it. You guys can watch it. Or maybe you did watch it. Yeah, so really interesting. So just like... So something that the creator keeps... Craig Mazin in these after talks, interviews... He's talking about how something about this story that is a big theme is like love is dangerous and love trumps rationality. Like and Kathleen and Henry are a good example. It's like they both are just being like, well, my brother is dead. Like it's my brother over your brother. No, it's my brother over your brother. It's like it's just primal. It's not rational. It's just and how many people will you kill and hurt and like torture for the people that you love? And it's I think this show, I think obviously I think a lot of post-apocalyptic movies probably deal with that theme and stuff. Game of Thrones deals with that theme a little bit, but like they do a really good job, and it's like so grounded and such a really nuanced world and take on that.
In a way that you wouldn't think would be coming from a video game.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I mean, I want to play it now. I'm like, I've never played. And now I'm like, after this, I don't want spoilers
way too
though.
Scary.
I know that's true. And I wouldn't be good at it. I'm like, oh my God, no. And
you
Lizzy,
could play it.
It would hurt me because I would be bad. Ellie would die. If I was Joel controlling the thing, trying to kill the things, I'm bad. So I would be like, great, I killed Ellie.
I come over and you're just sobbing and you're just like, I tried to play the video game.
I killed her.
It just kept dying.
I wasn't as rugged and handsome as Pedro Pascal. Oh my gosh. Did you see him on SNL? Did you see some of his SNL clips? He was so cute and funny.
I saw the video that was if he was in Mario World. Did you watch this?
I didn't see that one.
It was really good.
Oh,
it was like Dark Mario World.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's really funny. He plays his abuela.
Yeah, it was great. I can't believe you started watching Narcos. I already finished Narcos.
Oh my God. Oh, well,
it was great.
I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to do my thing. We got a lot of nice new reviews. And they truly make me so happy.
Thank you for everyone who listened to us on Game of Roses too.
Yes, yes, thank you. This this is from Kenzie Taylor's version, which is hilarious to me, which is such a funny a girl after my own heart. Amazing ladies to make an amazing pod. If you want an amazing pod that covers the best TV show, makes you laugh out loud, and has super relatable hosts, relatable queens, then look no further. I look forward to Mondays now because of this pod. These two ladies are hilarious and they make such a fun listen. Their awards are simply iconic and my favorite part of the pod. Aw, Katherine and Lizzy make the world of recapping so much better because they're here. Kenzie, that's so nice. Thank you. That's really nice. Wow. We're already too emotional for us. That was really sweet. Thank you so much for listening. That really
we spent a good portion of the day talking about Taylor Swift today.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about her a lot today. Lizzy and I went to Huntington Gardens and talked about Taylor Swift. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for being here, and I'm excited about. So yeah, this was an unconventional one, but next in the 19th, we're back on the Sunday schedule.
Well, yeah, we'll be back. Well, actually, next week we will be doing it one day late.
Oh, wait, yes, one day late. Lizzy has, yes.
I am going to a bachelorette party, so will not. We will be recording on Monday and not Sunday.
Yes,
so
it'll be out, though. I'll probably have it edited and out. Probably. If we're recording Monday, I'll probably have it out Monday night.
It'll come out whenever Katherine finishes.
Yeah, I can do it. But yay, amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you.
See you next week.
For joining us. We'll see you next week. And look for the light. I don't know why I'm putting my arm up like I have just finished a play I'm starring in.
I know. I feel
okay,
like
bye. I love you.